Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the Back Office Show. Welcome to a dash cam special. I do say dash cam special, but I've only got the one dash cam. Don't get your hopes up. But it is a DDPai M6 Plus, and have a look at this writing, because this writing does my head in. It really makes my brain hurt. Look at that. It's so strange. Very odd characters to a Western mind. If you look on the back, here are the sort of specs. In fact, the specs are easier to read on my camera than they are on the box because they're so shiny. It's supposed to be a high def, 1080p. I don't know what this 1440p auto cycling is. There's a whole load of specs here, and I'm not actually going to go into it in too much detail because I would urge you to go over to TechMoan's channel. Just type in TechMoan up in the search box, and he has done a brilliant review of this, and he's done brilliant reviews of technology. He's a far better reviewer than I ever will be. However, perhaps he's not as good as a teardownist, but he's got those skills too. Right, have a look inside the box. The camera. This is a sort of remote button to activate certain features of the camera, and look, a little sticky pad to stick it somewhere. Leave that in there. The camera itself, which is like an orb. Well, I say an orb, more of a lozenge really. Don't need that. Protective shieldings. Look, it looks pretty good. It's very light. I imagine it's not going to bob around too much. It's got a strange magnetic base. I've got a little bit of reservations about that, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's have a little zoom in. You can see some of the detail of that base, if my camera will flash. In fact, it's so shiny here, the camera won't focus. But it's a very shiny metallic sort of purple finish. M6 Plus, 5 volts at 2 amps. On the back is the door which houses the micro SD card. I've already popped one in there. I've only got 16 gigabyte to hand, but that should provide at least a few minutes of recording. Some sort of card, maybe a warranty, who knows. Manual, we don't need that. This is a bit odd. I did have a quick look inside the box, and you can see here some of the packaging is kind of torn up, which is a little bit disappointing. They've done a pretty good job with the box. It's very thick, sturdy material, like a very heavy cardboard. But yeah, just sort of let it down with this last minute bit of rubbish. But let's have a look. Imagining this is the charger. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so that's not the charger, that is the charging cradle and all. It's looking pretty sophisticated actually. So it's got a nice 3M pad, so it's a legit 3M pad, or at least a sticker implying it's a legit one. So you're going to stick this onto your windscreen, and you're going to put the bracket on. That's nice because it does allow you to remove the bracket and then possibly get another one of these. By the way, if you've ever stuck one of these on your windscreen and you don't know how to get rid of it, use dental floss. So get dental floss around the back and then do a kind of sawing action, and you'll cut through that foam and you can take this off. You can actually buy this adhesive in rolls and in strips and sheets, so you can always replace that bit. Right, so the pad itself, I'm looking inside because I think I can see a solder pad point in there. This actually will contain the GPS antenna. In fact, I'm quite confident that is the GPS antenna. Shall we have a look? We are, after all, kind of in my teardown lab, although I don't know if this is going to be a teardown video per se, but we'll have a quick look inside the base while we're here. So it seems easy. Famous last word, of course. Look at that. Vindicated. To any of you doubters, that is a GPS antenna, and I'm not going to bother taking that out, but I can have a look at here. Yes, there's the USB port is actually here, so it's coming through from there. So there's going to be some sort of pass-through circuitry that's going to take this down here. This will be the USB pass-through for the power and the serial connection for the data stream for the camera. So that's quite nice. So after you've mounted that onto your dash, you're going to have to run your power cable. You've got a lot of different options for that. Now, if you look at one of my earlier videos, I've actually shown you how to take one of the standard power adapters and hardwire it. So let's see what we've got with this kit. So we've got, interestingly enough, a kind of prizing kit. That's the same sort of kit you'd use for prizing open a gadget, and I'm pretty sure they're not expecting you to prize open the DDPai itself. However, if you were to change the battery, you might need to just crack that like that way. I suspect this is for pulling back trim in your car. if you imagine all of the plastic trim that you're going to try to route this around your windscreen. And strangely enough, this looks like a standard lighter. Okay, there's a standard lighter adapter there, plus a whole bunch of these tiny little clips. Now, I've never seen these before, but that's quite a good idea. So they do expect you to take some care in wrapping this up. It's a 1 amp on the top, 2.1 amps on the bottom style lighter adapter, and it's not a generic one. It does have their brand on it, DDPai.com. You might just be able to see it through the material. So let's see how this would go. So that would be on your windscreen, and then this would just magic on. Now, when I saw this, I was quite worried that it would be easy to sort of remove, but it is easy to remove, but it won't drop off. That's really quite firm, so that's good. So I think once you just lock it in, there's a little nut on the back. Turn the nut. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere really. I was putting quite a lot of force on that. Yeah, it does the job. Nice and easy to fit. So while I've got it in my hand though, it looks like you need to have all the power and everything to actually turn it on. So that's good. It's just going to come on when and charge when your car provides power by the USB. You could always emulate that by plugging it into something else. And then just to show you really quickly, if you go to the Android store, I'm going to bring it up on my phone, there's an application here called DDPai. Get the DDPai application and then you'll have access to the camera, so you can set it all up, because that's something you'll notice right away. There's no user interface at all on the camera, so you have to set it up all via the wireless. But the specs are, it's sort of high def, GPS, and it's got the various modes. If you have a bump or an accident, it'll sort of save the recording, and it has this remote button for capturing when you see someone do something a bit stupid or a lunatic. You can snap that button, and I don't know if there's 2 modes or 1 mode, but certainly 1 mode will probably just save the recording for sure, and if not, it'll probably take a snapshot as well. So there you have it, the DDPai M6 Plus. I'm going to probably try running it in a vehicle, and I might do another video in the future to let you know how I get on with it. But in the meantime, if you really want to know how it works, head over to TechMoan's website and have a look. As ever, thanks for watching.